Our planet is teeming with life. When we look closely at the sheer scale of it, we find everything from darting microscopic sea creatures all the way up to giant blue whales breaching the surface of the ocean. Despite those massive differences in size, they all belong to Kingdom Animalia. Every member of this kingdom shares a few specific traits. They are multicellular, they move from place to place in search of food, shelter, and safety, and they are heterotrophic, meaning they consume other organisms to survive. To make sense of all these different shapes and sizes, scientists look for one simple internal structure to divide the entire kingdom into two distinct worlds: the presence or absence of a backbone. Kingdom Animalia is divided into two broad groups. On one side, vertebrates, animals with a backbone. On the other, invertebrates. These actually account for about 97% of all animal species on Earth. Insects alone make up 1 million species. The vertebrate branch contains 5 subgroups: fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. The invertebrate branch subdivides into 8 major phyla, ranging from sponges to segmented worms. We tend to focus on animals with skeletons like ours, but the story of the animal kingdom is largely a story of surviving and dominating the planet without a single internal bone. The oldest and simplest of these boneless creatures belong to phylum Porifera. These are mostly marine animals, like sea sponges, that attach themselves permanently to the ocean floor. This diagram of a cylindrical sponge's cross-section shows a highly specialized feeding mechanism. Because they cannot move, water and food enter the sponge's central cavity through tiny pores covering its body. Any dissolved wastes then exit through a single large opening at the top. It is an effective system for a stationary animal, but it comes with limitations. Sponges lack a true body cavity, and they have absolutely no tissue organization. The next major biological upgrade appears in phylum Cnidaria. Animals in this group possess actual tissues and a single hollow body cavity. This side-by-side diagram illustrates the two primary forms Cnidarians take. One is the attached, vase-shaped form, like the hydra, fixed to the ocean floor with its oral end facing upward. The other is the free-swimming form, like a jellyfish, featuring an inverted bowl-like shape. Both forms utilize slender, filament-like projections called tentacles. These appendages are highly specialized tools used both to move through the water and to capture prey. Life effectively moved from a stationary, tissueless filter on the seafloor to an active predator equipped with specialized appendages to hunt. As animal bodies became more complex, some adapted to live entirely inside other creatures. Phylum Platyhelminthes, commonly known as flatworms, features soft, flattened bodies that look like leaves or ribbons. Looking at this microscopic view of a parasitic tapeworm's head, we can see the mechanical structures it uses to survive. It is equipped with sharp hooks and suckers positioned around its mouth, designed specifically to grip the host's body tissues. Flatworms are highly adapted parasites, but they still rely on a single opening to take in food and expel waste. Phylum Nematoda, or roundworms, solved that anatomical bottleneck. These worms have long, thin, unsegmented bodies that taper at both ends, and they thrive everywhere from soil to the human digestive tract. This schematic of a roundworm's internal anatomy highlights a major upgrade: a complete, tube-like digestive system. Unlike the flatworm, it has a mouth at one end and an anus at the other. By separating the intake of food from the expulsion of waste, roundworms achieved a continuous, one-way system. This allows them to process nutrients constantly without having to pause feeding to expel waste. The drive for biological efficiency eventually led to modular body plans. Phylum Annelida consists of mostly free-living worms found in moist soil or water, like the common earthworm or leech. This macro illustration of an earthworm shows its defining structural innovation. The long, cylindrical body is divided into repetitive, ring-like segments called annuli. Along the underside of these segments, annelids possess small, bristle-like structures known as chaetae. These bristles provide physical grip, allowing the segmented worm to push and pull itself efficiently through dense soil. This visual timeline maps the anatomical breakthroughs we've covered. Animal life optimized its designs, from porous filters of sponges to stinging tentacles of jellyfish, gripping hooks of flatworms, continuous tubes of roundworms, and finally the modular segments of annelids. These 5 distinct architectures prove that massive biological success does not require a skeleton. They allow invertebrates to occupy nearly every environment on Earth. If nearly 97% of all animal species survive and thrive without a single bone in their body, it raises an interesting question. Did the evolution of a backbone actually make vertebrates superior, or did it just make them far more complicated? For the vast boneless majority of Kingdom Animalia, simplicity is clearly the ultimate biological advantage.